Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This video is for people who are like contractors, service providers, those of you who provide local services. Maybe you're a landscaper, painter, plumber, industries like that. And we're gonna talk about marketing your business. Should you go on Angie's List or should you use something like Facebook ads? We're gonna talk about the differences between both of them so that you can decide what might be best for you. My name is Caleb. I run Torify, which is a marketing agency, so we deal with a lot of this type of, so hopefully you can benefit from this insider knowledge. The first thing I wanted to talk about is quality. The difference in quality between these two types of lead sources. Let's talk about Angie's List. There is a pretty good benefit to going on Angie's List because a lot of the leads are pre-qualified. You know what kind of steps someone is on their project, and they're coming from a reputable source. Like, they vet the leads for you and they really make it easier for you. It's a very ease of use in terms of the leads. They are pretty good quality, but you also never know when it comes to leads. You can try to qualify them as much as possible, and that's where they come in to help qualify the leads for you, giving you information like where they're at their project. And also there's a larger barrier to entry to getting onto Angie's List. Somebody has to set everything up, kind of have an account, things like that. So basically you know that this is a real person. Let's talk on the other side about Facebook and the quality of Facebook leads. When you're running Facebook advertisements for your company, you pretty much have as much or as little control over the quality as you want. So they have potential to be much higher quality or much lower quality than Angie's List. It pretty much depends on how many questions you ask this person and where you're getting this information from. Let me give you an example. There's a painting company that I work with, and how I have their leads set up is I use a form. Basically, the lead fills out this form so that they can book a quote. If I were to ask them 25 questions on this form, yes, I would get a lot more information and they would be a lot higher quality lead. But because I'm asking them more questions, less people are going to fill out the form, so therefore I will get less leads. You know, you're pulling on both ends here, so you have to find a happy medium that works well for you. I would recommend asking a couple questions, but not too much more than that. You can also take advantage of some pre-filled questions on Facebook. What I mean is where like a question will pop up like your name and address, and because Facebook already knows that information, it'll pre-fill all that stuff for your leads to make it a little bit easier and make it less friction in order to deal with you. The second main topic I wanted to talk about is price. Now, before I get too much into this, it's important to understand that Angie's List and Facebook advertisements are not exactly comparing apples to apples here. You can run Facebook advertisements with the purpose of generating leads. However, it's a little bit bigger than that. And I think it's worth understanding that before you kind of really analyze the prices. When you're running Facebook advertisements, you are also growing your brand. Even if they're for the purpose of creating leads and getting leads, you're still growing your brand, you're still growing your account and everything surrounded with it. I think that also, you should really consider that, opposed to just buying a certain lead. When you buy a lead, you're literally just buying the only lead at all. When you run Facebook ads for the purpose of leads, you bring in leads, but you also grow your presence and you also advertise to people. That's worth a lot. It's a little hard to give you guys an exact estimate on price because of the differences in services, and it also depends on your location. However, Angie's List per lead can cost anywhere between $15 and $85 per lead. I know that's a little bit of a big jump, but let's just kind of say an average of $50 per lead. Assuming that your service is, relatively a little bit more expensive, maybe an average $1,000 per job. Some jobs easily ranging into the multiple thousands of dollars. I don't think that's too bad. From my experience, Facebook can range anywhere between $10 and $30 or $40 per lead. Again, that really just depends on your area and the type of service that you provide. If you, let's say you build outdoor decks and patios for people and your minimum entry price is $20,000 per deck, it's gonna be a lot harder to get leads just because it's a little bit more of a high expensive thing, but also you're probably willing to pay more for those leads because if you buy a couple of leads for $50 and one of them works, you're making $20,000 on the back end. What I'm getting at is you have more room, more wiggle room, opposed to if your service was only a $100 service. The third thing I kind of wanted to talk about was how easy it is to run these things, how quick you can do it, how easy it is, and that's where Angie's List I think really shines. It's pretty easy to get started, get set up. It doesn't require a whole lot of skill or a bunch of advertisements or creatives or copy that you need to masterfully create, and it's very user friendly. The bad thing about Facebook ads is that they're not super user friendly. Facebook ads are kind of they work as well as you can work them. They have a lot wider of a range here. They can perform very bad and you can be spending a lot of money if you don't know what you're doing, or they can perform extremely well if you learn how to work with them, create good advertisements, create good copy, and really showcase your work in a way that your audience is receptive to. So Facebook ads, in my opinion, are a lot more challenging. But I will say that running Facebook advertisements for a local business is a lot easier than, let's say, you had an online store. The reason why is because your audience is already pretty small to begin with in terms of like audiences. You're not advertising to everyone in the world. You're probably advertising to people within 40 miles-ish of your business. So it's pretty easy to narrow it down to a certain type of audience. Overall, I think that Angie's List is really good for beginners, getting quick leads, getting a fast, transaction. It is a little bit more expensive right away. I think that Facebook is a good long-term approach. Facebook is not something that you're gonna be getting 30 leads a day in overnight. Like, it's gonna take a month, maybe 2 months, maybe even 3 months to kind of really, get things set up properly. And there's gonna be some testing as well. You're gonna have to test, hey, does the east side of my town or the west side of my town, which area do I wanna work in? Which area do I wanna run advertisements in? Those are all answers you're gonna have to come up with for your business. But I do think, like, price for price, Facebook is way better. Also considering the fact that you're getting all the extra advertisement anyways. I hope this video was helpful to a lot of you service providers out there. I make a lot of other videos like this. If you want, there's some videos on the channel where you can take a look. I'll dive deeper into how I set these up. And if you guys have any questions, you can always comment below. Hit subscribe to stick around and get more content like this to help you grow your business. Work hard out there, everyone. It'll pay off. See you in the next one.